Yeah, I am Ambassador Comrade Dr. Binabai Yenri Princewill, spokesman Ijaw Youth Council IYC worldwide. Yeah, actually, yesterday, which is July 22nd, marked the 2 years anniversary of the current National Executive Council of the IYC, the Night Neck. And of course, for us, we want to give God all the glory and, of course, the entire Ijaw nation for electing us in the first place. Not just electing us, the Ijaw nation have continued to support the ninth leadership of the Ijaw Youth Council, headed by Sir Jonathan Lokobri, for which I am the spokesman of council, and of course other of my colleagues that constitute the ninth National Executive Council of Council. For us, we are grateful for the support so far, both the delegates that voted for us and of course the entire members of council, both past and present leaders of council, zonal structures, clan chairmen, the parliament, critical stakeholders, and of course former presidents of council, and even the leadership of the INC and other critical stakeholders of the Ijaw nation for always standing by council in our activities and all that. That today we have a secretariat project ongoing in Yenagoa is because of the benevolence of our Ijaw leaders, particularly Tantita Security Services that have taken over that project. So for us, we are very, very grateful to Tantita Security Services, Tompolo, the MD of Tantita, the GM, the vice chairman of Tantita, and what have you. And of course, so many Ijaw leaders that have supported the Night Neck in our quest to ensure that we advocate and prioritize the interest of the Ijaw people at all point in time. So today is not just a day of many talks, but a day of sober reflection, a day with which we now analyze where we are coming from, where we are going, and where we are now at the moment. So I want to appreciate all our people from both the western flank to the central, to the eastern, and to both our chapters in Abuja, Lagos, and even in the diaspora. So I want to really appreciate the Ijaw people today, that it is not easy to lead the Ijaw nation, particularly a very powerful organization like the IYC for about 2 years now. So I want to appreciate our people for the love and support, because the job cannot be done by just one person or few persons. It is the support of the entire Ijaw nation that have kept us going till this very moment. The challenges are there, just like every other Ijaw person, but it's just that I am occupying the office of a spokesman, because if you look at the Nigerian system today, there are issues in this country at all point in time. Sometimes on behalf of council, we may take a position, and some of these positions may not go down well with people. But for us, we just look at a bigger picture where if even the federal government or oil companies are doing anything, if these things are in tandem with our quest for resource control and self-determination in the Nigerian state. So most times when we take this position, sometimes the government, on the other hand, may sometimes not feel that, they will say, this position coming from council is like this. And sometimes there are some of our people that are also maybe perhaps they may not be okay with the whole thing. But for us, we look at the bigger picture. This policy and this thing that is happening, is it something that will add to the progress of Ijaw nation? So whatever position we have been taking on behalf of council has nothing to do with a personal opinion or personal stuff, but how the entire Ijaw nation will be carried along. That's why, for example, About a year ago, we talked about the Shell divestment. We took position because Shell have operated in our environment, have even polluted our environment heavily. Even the issue of living up to their corporate social responsibility was even an issue. Cleaning up of our environment was an issue. They've not even done much regarding that. They did their best, but their best was not enough as far as the job people are concerned. But at the end of the day, they came up with this story of divestment. Now, the story behind that divestment was that they are now selling off some of their properties. And these properties they are selling without proper consultation with their host, which is the job people and other Niger Deltans. They now begin to pass through the back door as far as we are concerned. We are the job people and Niger Delta people were supposed to be given the first right of refusal, but they didn't do so. They go ahead using a crooked means. At the end of the day, they now paved the way for a consortium to take over their properties. And the Joe Youth Council was not pleased with that. And we also warned that until our people will be included in that process, that same process cannot go each free. Till today, we are going to challenge that. And we are not comfortable with the way it is, because we know of credible religious sons and daughters that can also buy up those properties. So that one is just one of them. So for us, there are a lot of challenges. Government is on one side, interest groups are also on one side, and sometimes maybe just when you think that you want to sleep, there are issues everywhere. You can imagine the neck is responsible for the day-to-day running of council, at least within these years that will be in office, from Delta to Ondo to Edo to Bayelsa to even Akwa Ibom to Rivers, Abuja, Lagos, and even in the diaspora, anywhere that the job people are. So the NEC will have to be awake to monitor the activities of our people, the activities of government at different layers and even multinational oil companies. So it has not been easy, but we thank God that we have been able to weather the storm till this level. Yes, for us, the message is very simple. While we are celebrating our 2 years anniversary, we want to say that the message is very simple: unity. The job people must continue to be united. Yes, we have been united, but there is need for us to be more united like never before. Today, the dark clouds are gathering. People are gathering, people are making everything possible in order to undo the Ijaw nation. And it is only unity. If we are united as a people, I doubt if there is anything that the Ijaw people want that we will not be able to achieve. And unity is what brings progress for us as a people. We must continue to support our critical institutions like the IYC, the INC, and of course, the Ijaw political sons and daughters that are occupying offices, and even our business men and women that are doing well, that have one or two business to do. It is the duty of Ijaw people to also protect our people. So not this one that we are there to fight against ourselves and all that. The Ijaw man's progress should be the business of every other person, and the Ijaw man's pain should also be the pain of every right-thinking Ijaw sons and daughters. So that is the message from the Ijaw Youth Council. Today there are state creation issues, and of course, as spokesman, I want to appeal to sons and daughters of Ijaw nation, just like I have called for the unity of Ijaw nation. We need to ensure that we are all on one side in the pursuit for this state creation. A lot of people have their differing views, but then I believe that any Ijaw man that goes to Bayelsa State will be happy that this is an Ijaw state, whether you are from Bayelsa or not. Today, a lot of us were talking about Fubara, and we'll continue to talk about Fubara issue because he's an Ijaw son that was made governor in that state. And at the end of the day, the events that happened at that time till this very moment are still things that are still ringing in our memory. So for us to have a state is very key as Ijaw people, because the Ijaw people are just like displaced persons politically. Now, it is only Bayelsa State that we have as an homogeneous state. In Delta State, we are balkanized in Delta State. Out of 25 local government, they just exclusively own about 3 and balkanized into different local government like Warri Southwest, Warri South, and Warri North. You understand? Now, beyond that, if you go to Edo State, they just are balkanized into Edo State as well, into different local governments, without even their homogeneous local government even. If you go to Ondo State, the Ijaws are also there. They are balkanized into different local governments in that Edo State as well too. That is Ondo State as well. So what we are trying to say is that bringing these Ijaw people together is key. For example, look at Edo State now. We have about 5 kingdoms in Edo State as Ijaw people. None of the kings have even had staff of office in that Edo State, which is a misnomer, which is an anomaly that needs to be corrected, that we are agitating for. But creating Toribe State is very key and essential, because this will be an exclusively homogeneous Ijaw state to accommodate our people. And these Ijaw communities and kingdoms that are now balkanized into these various states are not just ordinary kingdoms or are not just ordinary people. They are the economic backbones of the various states that they are balkanized into. So if you talk about the population, Toribe State, if you bring all these our people together, we have the population and even beyond. If you want to even talk about the economic viability, the Ijaw areas, we are economically very viable. So the creation of Toribe State is important, and it is our call to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he should specially prioritize the creation of the Toribe State. And I want to give kudos to the National Assembly and Mr. President for also, through his body language, that is in support of state creation. And of course, the leadership of Ijaw Nation, particularly the INC, the IYC, and other critical stakeholders that are working behind the scene in ensuring that Toribe State comes to limelight. It's all right. So, in essence, the Ijaw people have been adjudged as the 4th largest ethnic group in Nigeria. And of course, as a council and as the leadership of Ijaw Nation, for which the INC is the apex and all that, and other Ijaw leaders that are doing their parts, we actually, before now, demanded for even the Oil River states, so that our balkanized Ijaws in Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and even Abia will also occupy the Oil River State if it is created. You know, in Akwa Ibom, the Ijaws are there. We have our Ibeno people, the Obolo people, and what have you, other Ijaw people that are there. Today, the Toribe State is also gaining momentum, and also the Obolo State is also gaining momentum as well. It is important for these states to be created to accommodate our Ijaw people, because if as the 4th largest ethnic group in Nigeria, we only have Bayelsa State, it's not normal. And we're also calling for the increase of local government in Bayelsa State as well too. because Bayelsa State, the 8 local government that they are operating on is not normal, is not okay. So we need more local government in Bayelsa State. And of course, these 2 states has to be created, because the agitation for the creation of Toribe State, another state to accommodate the Ijaw people, is not just starting in this era. It's something that predates me. It's something that predates this very era. So we want to appreciate Mr. President through his body language and even the National Assembly for coming up with this state creation issue. We just hope that this becomes a reality. Now, beyond that, we want to call on Mr. President to reconsider his decision for the suspension of our governor of Rivers State. Because yes, there are peace moves and all that, but we cannot continue to wait forever. What is happening in Rivers State is purely a breach of even the Constitution and a rape of our democracy. Our democracy is in grave danger. We cannot begin to talk about democratic principles where we are now going to suspend a democratically elected governor of that place. Now, you said you are declaring state of emergency. What happened in Benue State? Over insecurity, you are suspending a governor for insecurity. Now, what happened in Benue State? Over 200 persons died within a day. No state of emergency has been declared in that state. But today, a River State that not just human being, fowl did not die in River State, but you come to say you are declaring state of emergency and you are suspending a governor. I think this is a situation that has gotten out of hand. And we don't want to believe that Mr. President is on a punitive mission against the Ijaw people. We don't want to believe so, because the Ijaw people have done their part in supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we have always supported him. So, but we must not be punished for that. Fubara should be returned back to power. That is our call today as we mark our 2 years anniversary. And for Warri Federal Ward Delineation, we want to say that INEC, their delay is becoming worrisome. And it is our call today that INEC must not begin to play politics with the word delineation. They report in their possession. If they want to do any correction, if they want to do any small amendment, they should do it and make that announcement. Because if the INEC think that they will delay this process until maybe when another political dispensation will come and there is an election, they want to go back to that time. That is when they will know the true color of the Ijaw people. Today, the Ijaw people have kept quiet because we are respecting the law. The Supreme Court have already given a judgment that whatever that was happening in Warri Federal Constituency was a misnomer, was a fraud, and is not something that can re-echo itself again. So therefore, the field report has to be implemented. Or if there are small issues, tackle those issues and make that announcement, so that we as a people can move forward as Ijaw people, as Nigerians, as Delta people, as Warri people. Because this idea of delaying this thing, that is not something that the Ijaw people will take. Because we are not going back to what was happening before. If people think that if they delay, if they do this one or that, or people think that they have the monopoly of violence to do whatever they want to do, while we are not threatening violence, the message is very simple. INEC, ensure that you implement your field report. If there are some gray areas, look into those few gray areas, because that report is a reflection of the overwhelming majority status of the Urhobos and the Ijaw people in Warri Federal Constituency. There is no going back about that. So We are calling on INEC to ensure that they make that announcement, because we are not going back to what we were having. That was a fraudulent arrangement. We didn't take the laws into our hands. We decided to approach the court. We followed it for so many years before this victory is coming. And INEC have been directed. So INEC has no business in delaying this matter. While we are all stakeholders ensuring that there is peace and sustainable peace in the Niger Delta region, we should not be taken for granted as a people. So, in essence, our unity is very, very key in moving forward, because it is lack of our unity that is making people to even dare to challenge the Ijaw nation in this country, in the various states that we are in. Today, people can just come and insult or even dare Ijaw nation and go freely. That's because we are not united. Today, somebody will insult the Ijaw nation. At the end of the day, Ijaw people will be the people that will host that person again. So all this kind of behaviors, even if we are playing politics, we must be seen playing politics that will bring development to our people, and not a slave-like politics where you want to be a slave to please your master, that you want to portray your ethnic group as a lesser ethnic group or as slaves before your master. Things don't work that way. Let us know that power is transient. And as Ijaw people, we are critical stakeholders in this country. That Nigeria is economically viable. If you remove the resources from Ijaw areas, Nigeria will be bleeding. The Niger Delta is key as far as we are talking about Nigeria. And the Ijaw people are playing key role in the Niger Delta and occupying a very large portion of the Niger Delta landmass and what have you. So that is what we are saying. Our unity is key. So we must continue to be united as a people. And of course, this is a call to sons and daughters of the Ijaw nation to continue to have faith in the leadership structure of the Ijaw nation, particularly the INC, the IYC, and our leaders. We must respect them. The leaders of the Ijaw nation. This is beyond IYC and of course the INC, because hardly are we seeing people from other ethnic stock coming to speak against their socio-cultural organizations and even their leaders. But it is very, very common and rampant in Ijaw that most sons and daughters of Ijaw nation will easily come on the media to insult or to go against positions taken by the INC, the IYC, and even our leaders. This does not portray us as a united people. This does not portray us as a good people. If there are issues, we can always resolve our issues indoors, and not this way of bringing ourselves out like we are now different entities and all that. It's not fair, because when we do not respect ourselves, you are giving room for people to come in. So as we mark our 2 years anniversary, it is unity that is our watchword. Going forward, let us continue to support one another. Thank you very much.